What's going on, everybody? Alonzo here with GulfCoastSmoke.com, and on today's episode, the wheel picks everything. We've got a brand new Weber kettle with all the attachments. Let's get right into this cook and see what we've got to do. Happy New Year! Welcome to 2023. I hope last year was amazing for you, and this year is going to be the best to come. Today, we're trying something a little bit different. Weber sent us their 70th anniversary kettle. It looks beyond incredible, but that's not all that they sent us. They send us every single one of their attachments that fits into the gourmet system, and today we're going to spin the wheel to see which attachment we're going to use. After that, we're also going to spin the wheel to see what type of meat we're cooking, and then we'll spin it one more time to see what our budget is. And I think that that's going to be the kicker because unfortunately, everything is expensive these days. Now that everybody understands what we're doing on today's video, we're going to go ahead and spin to see what attachment we're going to be using today. And today we got the wok. I'm not going to lie to you. This is probably one of those that I'm most excited for. My wife and I love trying to make Asian dishes. We used to have a wok that we used a little bit in the past, but today we're going to get to use it on our Weber kettle. Now that we know we're using our wok to cook today, let's see what type of meat we need to cook on that wok. We instantly landed on seafood. I think that can go great with our wok. So with us landing on wok and seafood, I instantly go to either shrimp fried rice or shrimp lo mein. I'm not sure how I would do shrimp lo mein without just pre-cooked noodles because I'm really not a noodle maker, but I know we could do something along the lines of both of those dishes. Now we're going to spin for our budget. We're going to have two budgets that are going to be $10, which is really bad. I truly hope we do not get those, but if we get them, we're going to do our absolute best. After the $10, we're going to have $20 all the way to $35. And if we get a high budget, we don't use all that money, that's completely okay. We're going to show you guys what we spend, and the point of this is to make a good meal with our budget while spinning that wheel. We're cooking seafood on our wok. Let's see what our budget is. Oh! There's no way. That's 25, right? Yeah. That has to be 25. There's no... That 100% is on 25, right? Drop a comment down below. That's 25, 100%. Is it not? Before this thing moves, I'm calling it $25. We dodged an absolute bullet with that one. Now it's time to head to the store where we've got $25 to cook seafood on our wok. Again, I'm thinking some Asian-inspired meal, but let's go to the store and see what we can get. We're back from the store, and we decided that we're going to be making shrimp fried rice today. We were going to go with that lo mein, but it put us a little bit over the $25. So in order to keep it under $25, we went with the shrimp fried rice. We got some rice, we got some shrimp, we got some eggs, green onions, garlic, peas and carrots, sesame oil, and soy sauce. We are going to keep it a little bit simpler today. Obviously, we could go a little bit more on the flavors, but don't forget, we have that $25 budget. Let's get right into this. We'll show you the brand new 70th anniversary Weber kettle that looks so incredible. I honestly don't even want to cook on it. It looks so pretty. We'll show you the wok that we're going to be using today, and then we're going to get right into it. So we have not used our Weber kettle yet. The first thing I want to do is just get some hot briquettes and let everything kind of cook out in there just a little bit, just in case there's any extra residue left over from oils, from manufacturing and stuff like that. I just want to make sure that we cook all that out. So today I'm going to be using my grill blazer. And I want to start our charcoal starters and our lump charcoal just to make sure that everything gets nice and hot. I probably honestly didn't need the charcoal starters, but it's okay. We're just going to let these rock and roll. I'm going to put the grate back in here. And like I said, I'm just going to let this cook out for a good 20 minutes or so before we start cooking our food. After about 20 minutes, it's time to use our wok to make our shrimp fried rice. So I have all my ingredients over here. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pour my shrimp in. So what I'm going to do actually now, I'm not getting the sizzle that I want, right? So I'm just going to adjust. Right now I have the charcoal baskets on the side of the wok over here. So I'm going to take this wok off. I'm going to take this off. That's because I have on my GCS gloves. Do not do this. Do not do that. I'm going to put this back on, and we're just going to throw the wok right over top. I need this to be a little bit hotter. I want to make sure that we get a nice texture on this fried rice. Again, it's all about adjustments. That's not how I wanted this to start off, but it's no big deal. We'll get there. And just about 10 seconds later, you can hear much more of a sizzle here. So I'm really liking this. Now I'm just going to go ahead and add some AP, that base there. There we go. That's exactly what I need to hear right there. Make sure we're getting nice sizzle and texture. And not just for the shrimp, but for everything that we're cooking today. So what I'm going to be doing with the shrimp here today is I'm just going to be cooking it about halfway. And the reason is because we're going to throw it back in just a little bit. And we do not want this shrimp to be rubbery. In my opinion, one of the worst things you can do to shrimp is overcook it. So we just want to make sure that we get a nice little color and texture here. And then we're going to take this off. Okay, in about 2 minutes overall of us stir frying this shrimp here, we're going to go ahead and take everything off and just put it into a little container and have it off to the side. Next up, we're going to start our eggs, and we're also going to hit this with a little more of our AP, that base. Going to scramble everything up. And just like the shrimp, I do not want this to fully cook. So I do want it to come together and not be so runny, but I don't want to overcook these, especially in the end, because, again, my opinion, that one of the worst things you can do to eggs is dry them out and overcook them. A few minutes later, eggs are halfway cooked. So in between the shrimp and the eggs, I actually forgot to add more oil, so we had a little bit of stickiness to the bottom of our wok here. It's just a learning experience. You know, like I said, I'm just kind of trying to go real quick here and really just forgot about that. So we did wipe it out with a little bit of water and oil just to make sure that everything else we cook is going to get that nice surface contact with our wok. So now we're going to add a little bit more oil because we are adding more ingredients here. We've got garlic up next. I just want this to get nice and fragrant for a few seconds before we start cooking everything else. Now this is some leftover pork that we have from New Year's Eve. We're just going to throw it in here as well. This is not necessarily part of that $25 that we try to stay under, but we have this in the fridge and we're just going to utilize it. Next up, I have some frozen peas and carrots that we're going to fold in. And this is the sizzle I wanted when that shrimp initially hit. So do not forget, if you have the Weber charcoal baskets, just put them right under this wok. I obviously think that works way better than putting them on the side, but it's all about trial and error. Now we've got some rice that we cooked yesterday, put it in the refrigerator. We're trying to get that day-old feel here. Nice and clumpy. Let's go ahead and break it up and mix everything together. We're gonna put a little bit more salt, pepper, garlic in here. Just gonna keep cooking. Everything is looking and smelling out of this world by now. Now it's time to start adding our shrimp back in and then our half-cooked eggs. We're moving pretty quick at this point. Like I said, we don't want to overcook any of this shrimp. This is looking and smelling incredible. That pork actually was seasoned with our all-purpose marinade. I'm sorry, it was marinated with our all-purpose marinade. If you guys have never tried it, I'm going to put the recipe in the description. You absolutely have to. This is just about done here. Now we're just going to end this with a little bit of sesame oil and then as much soy sauce as you like. We kind of like it a little salty, so we'll put a little extra in there. Mix it up one more time. After stir frying for about 3 to 4 minutes, we are finally done with our shrimp fried rice. It looks incredible from here. The smell is just so amazing. Let's get this right off of the Weber and let's take a bite. About 10 minutes later, we have some delicious looking shrimp fried rice. I'll tell you what, that wok just makes it so fun to cook. I love the versatility that comes with these attachments. And we had a lot of different ones that we could use today. And I'm glad we landed on the wok first. If you guys have any ideas of what you want us to cook next, if you want to see a different attachment, just let us know in the comments below. We're obviously happy to try them all out. Now we're going to jump in and take a bite. I want to make sure that I get a good bite with a little bit of everything. That pork, that shrimp, the green onions, everything just looks absolutely incredible. My son just walked in. He's probably excited to try this as well. I'm going to take a big bite. That could possibly be the best fried rice that I've ever made. So good. There's so much texture from that rice, getting that nice crispiness on it. The shrimp is cooked perfectly. The eggs are cooked perfectly. The green onions just add an amazing flavor over top that freshness that it brings. The pork is incredible. Like I told you guys, check in the description. I'm going to put that all-purpose Asian marinade in there, and I promise you, it's going to take what you cook to the next level. Welcome to 2023. I know I said that in the intro, but hopefully everybody achieves all the goals that you want this year. I know we're going to work our hardest to as well. As always, we really appreciate you guys tuning into this video. Thanks. I'm going to eat the rest of this all by myself. And we'll see you on the next one.